Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be doing another tier list. Today, we are doing running backs, overrated, underrated, or properly rated. You guys really like the quarterback video. It got 14 views, and that was a pretty big video of the week. So we're back. We're going to get another one. You guys loved it, so we're bringing back a part 2, this time with the running backs. If you guys like the content, please like and subscribe. I best post every single day. And let's get into it. But before we get into all of that, I just want to say I'm so grateful for us hitting 25 subscribers. We're now at 28 subscribers. Big leaps, big jumps. It's just crazy to me because my first goal before the end of September was 10 subscribers, and then I went to 15, and then 20, and now 25. And if we can get to 30 subscribers, that will just be all my expectations. You guys are already doing a really, really good job. But if we can get to 30 subscribers, that would be awesome. So let's get into the video. I'll be telling you guys uh my my actual takes on all these running backs, and I'll be giving you my opinions. Let's get into it. All right, first up we got, this is a big list by the way, so I might be going a little bit fast. Chris Carson, he's retired. He's properly rated because he's retired. He doesn't play in the game anymore, so he's retired. I can't really rate him anymore because he isn't currently playing. Kenyon Drake is overrated at this point. I mean, I think a lot of people know Kenyon Drake is just kind of overrated at this point. A lot of people still have hype for him. Like, he still has something in him. I don't see it. I don't think he was ever that good of a running back. Just too small and not really that fast. Didn't really have any great qualities. Kind of a balanced running back that didn't really work. Kareem Hunt might be the single most underrated running back you will ever see in the NFL. He's a backup on a team, and they were thinking that, and every single NFL fan is saying that he is trash because he's a backup. This man, if he was on a different team, a team that he was a running back number one, I guarantee you he'd be a top 10 running back in the league because he is basically another version of like an Austin Eckler. He can run the ball, and his receiving is off the marks. He's basically an Austin Eckler. I mean, just he's so underrated, especially because he's a running back two. A lot of people just think that just because he's a running back two, he's bad. He's not that bad. Daryl Henderson's probably rated. I think a lot of people know that Daryl Henderson is a solid running back 1/2 running back. It's between him and Cam Akers, and it kind of goes back and forth. But he's a solid running back. He does everything that you want at a pretty decent level, and not a lot of people have too much hype for him. But also, he's not that good, so he's probably rated. Honestly, Jonathan Taylor is underrated. Even though he is the best running back in the NFL, I will say here, he is the best running back in the NFL. And people are still saying that Derrick Henry's out there. Look at Derrick Henry this season. Look at Derrick Henry this season and talk to me again. Derrick Henry has not been good this season apart from week 3. And Jonathan Taylor has continued to stride forward. He's the best running back in the game, and I feel like a lot of people are like, McCaffrey's better, Henry's better, Chubb's better. It's absolutely incorrect. You can argue with it, and that's okay. But in my opinion, I think John Taylor is super underrated, especially for what a breakout year he had last year. Travis Etienne's, I think right now a little bit overrated. I'll be honest. For a rookie with that high of a pick, he hasn't been that good. He's been pretty inconsistent. He isn't their main running back. I would say James Robinson's their main running back. And this year, he's been very inconsistent, just not doing enough. He's gonna rush for like 8 rushes and have like 4 recs. Like it's just not enough for a pick that was that high of Travis Etienne. Overrated. This is J.D. McKissick. I mean, he's probably right. I think everyone knows that he's a running back too. That is a decent receiver. Not much to say about him. Just he's a running back too. So like I say, nobody really hypes him up too much. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is overrated. I don't care if he's had a good start to the season. He's still an overrated running back. In my opinion, just he's not that good. I think he is small for a running back. I think his speed's okay, but not great. And I think where you put him at, the 15th pick in the draft, the Chiefs, you could have picked so many better players there. And he has not been the real deal. He's overrated. A lot of people still think that there's going to be something left in the tank. I don't believe it. He's overrated. I think this is Jerick McKinnon. Um, Probably red. I mean, I can't really say anything about him. He's a running back 3 for the Chiefs or 2 or whatever. Just not that good anymore. It's probably rated. I would still say James Robinson's underrated. I think a lot of people think that ETN is better than James Robinson. I don't think it. I think James Robinson's a clear number one. I think for a power rusher, he's one of the best in the league. I think for a guy he's basically like a smaller version of Derrick Henry. He's got the same qualities of Derrick Henry, and we know that he is very, very good. James Robinson, very underrated. I think a lot of people think that ETN kind of overshadowed him. I don't believe that. I think James Robinson is equally better, if not a mile better, than Travis Etienne. Honestly, Rex Burkhead a little bit underrated. I think once he was a fullback in Patriots, people just didn't really think of him, but he's been solid. He's become kind of that running back number one um, of the Texans, and he's been a good running back. You always think of him as a fullback, but he can run the ball. He's a decent rusher, kind of power rusher. He'll get your yardage. He'll fight for that yardage. He is a great example of a guy who's underrated. David Johnson, I honestly haven't seen him play in like 3 years. He's, you know what, oh, see, he's overrated for what the Cardinals did to trade for him, but as a running back, he's probably rated. I think Aaron Jones is also a little bit underrated. I think a lot of people think that Aaron Jones is uh wasn't that good just based on last year. I think he's not given their opportunities in Green Bay. I think this year he'll be a lot better. But a lot of people are like AJ Dillon. Oh, yep, that's our next running back. Aaron Jones for the running back too, which is just so not the case. Aaron Jones is still the running back number one. He's one of the best receiving backs in the game, and he can rush the ball pretty well. He's been very, very consistent. I think the Packers have been utilizing him a lot better. Aaron Jones is an underrated running back, and joining him is going to be DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift has really shown me. You know what? I was the biggest DeAndre Swift believer, and after this year, I will bite my words for it. DeAndre Swift has been amazing. He has been one of the best running backs I have ever seen this year. Speed, oh my God, just his way to be like have that much athleticism to get past and just break loose on a run. It's ridiculous. He's been one of the best running backs in the league so far this year, and he's super underrated, especially for where I valued him at before the season started. I think Dave Montgomery is probably rated. I think a lot of people know that he's a decent running back. I think a few people overrate him, a few people underrate him. He's in that range. He's just a solid running back number one. Sorry that he got injured in the Texans game, but he's a good power rusher. He does everything well. He's probably rated. I would say also James Conner is probably rated. I think a lot of people know how good he is. A lot of people say he's overrated because he got just a bunch of touchdowns. But if you look at his stats, his yards per carry was good. His receiving ability has really improved and has been really good. And going from Pittsburgh to Arizona, he's been a massive, dramatic improvement. It's been great. I think he's probably rated. I think a lot of people know how good he actually is. Next up, we got Chase Edmonds. I'm gonna say property rated. Hasn't been that good in Miami so far. It's kind of been Raheem Mostert actually. But yeah, I think everyone knows Chase Edmonds is solid. Again, a guy who can receive the ball pretty well, smaller running back that does his job. Simple as that. Elijah Mitchell's going to go in the properly rated category. For a rookie, I thought he was very, very good. Rushed for over 1,000 yards. Unfortunately, he did get injured this year. Sorry to hear. I'm a Niners fan. I'm biased to just say sorry for Elijah Mitchell. But he's a properly rated running back. I think a lot of people think that he was probably one of the best running backs coming out of that draft, and he had a very, very good rookie year. I can trust him. Kind of got overshadowed by like, Najee Harris, but still really, really good. I'm going to take Elijah Mitchell at properly rated. Raheem Mostert at this point's overrated. I'm sorry. I know he's playing for. I know he was playing for the Niners, but I mean, it's just speed. That's all it is. It's just so injury prone, and even though I love him, he's not. When you think about him for how long he's injured for and how much productiveness he can bring, it's just not a good ratio. It's overall not the greatest. I'm gonna put Ramondre Stevenson underrated because I feel like with Ramondre Stevenson, a lot of people underrate him because he's a running back too. Ramondre Stevenson on a different team without a running back is a very good running back. He's kind of got into that role of a running back one. He shares snaps with Damien Harris. I think when we're talking about a guy who should be playing on 3 down snaps and clutch plays, you bring in Ramondre Stevenson. Goal line carries give Damien Harris, but you bring in Ramondre Stevenson when you're backed up on your own, like, 20-yard line. Saquon Barkley, not gonna lie, a little bit underrated right now. He's had a amazing start to the regular season. He has been incredible. Absolutely incredible. I think um, I overrate him a little bit, but he's been incredible. He's been receiving the ball well. He's been a power back, and he's finally had the energy to unlock his rookie second year season that he had. And I think the injuries are finally starting to be healthy, and he is showing that everyone underrated him. He's very underrated. Tony Pollard, another underrated running back. In my opinion, Tony Pollard's underrated because um, for running back two, he is one of the best running back twos you can get. He has the speed of a cheetah, and he has the wrecking ability of a giraffe. That sounds very weird. I don't know, but he's very another guy like a Ramondre Stevenson, just a very good running back too. Miles Sanders, I'm gonna put Miles Sanders and Tony Gibson in overrated. I'll give you my reasons. They're both running back ones. They both have not shown great improvements this year, and they both have just been overrated. I think their whole career. I think Gibson, um, just it has been almost lazy in his gameplay. I don't think he's been as dominant. He might have an injury. I don't know. And with Miles Sanders, he's always just been that consistent 800 rushing yard running back. But if you actually watch him play, he isn't that good when he's rushing the ball. He'll get like 3 yards per carry. He's not that good of a running back. I think Leonard Fournette's probably rated another running back who I think a lot of people know how good he actually is. Just receiving ability and running ability. I think Tom Brady and the Buccaneers offense helps him a lot. He's still probably rated though. One of the best running backs in the game. Kamara, I'm not gonna lie, is slightly overrated right now. Nothing bad on Kamara. I like Alvin Kamara. He's overrated right now because um, people think that he's a top five running back. I unfortunately don't put him in that top five running back category, just based on what he's had this past few years. Can't trust him to stay healthy. Can't trust him at all. Alvin Kamara, you're going to overrated. I think Mark Ingram deserves there. I think after since he like left Baltimore, now he's in this New Orleans. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, this guy's actually insane. He's not that good anymore. He's just too old. Doesn't rush fast enough. Not really that good anymore. Just kind of washed." Honestly, Christian McCaffrey is probably rated. I think a lot of people overrate him because of his injuries, but this year so far he stayed fully healthy. And if you're gonna get a healthy Christian McCaffrey, that is one of the best running backs you'll have in the game. I don't think he's underrated um because he does get injured a lot, and you have to take that into factor. Mike Davis is honestly a bit overrated, just not the best running back in the game. Kind of guy like Mark Ingram, I would say. About what I say with Mark Ingram. Is this Gus Edwards or is this Justice Hill? Or is this? I think it's Gus Edwards, right? Or is it? Is that his name? I think Gus the Bus Edwards. I'll put him in probably rated. Uh, for running back two, he's fine. He works. Nothing really to say about him. He's a running back too. He's not bad. Oh, is that Tyson Williams? I always forget. If I'm wrong about that, I'm sorry. Devin Singletary, honestly, a little bit underrated. I think Singletary has been a solid, consistent running back. Last year he was decent. This year so far he's been decent. Honestly, because the Bills are such a pass first offense, I feel like he's been kind of getting overshadowed by like, Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs and Gabriel Davis. He's still a solid running back. Just a guy that can do everything that you need for him, and he doesn't really make mistakes. J.K. Dobbins is probably properly rated. I mean, I think a lot of people overrate him because of the injuries. People underrate him because uh, of his injuries as well. Like, it's not his fault. I think he's probably rated. I think everyone knows he's a solid running back. I think everyone knows he's going to take a big step forward this year. We're just waiting for it. Joe Mixon's underrated. I think a lot of people know that Joe Mixon's very good, but a lot of people don't know Joe Mixon is very good. Joe Mixon last year had one of the best years. I think before that they kind of overshadowed him by players like Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, Joe Burrow, C.J. Uzama when he was there. But Mixon is still the big deal. He's probably a top five running back in the game, and I can say that with confidence. Nick Chubb is properly rated. I think everyone knows that he's a top three running back in the game. Everyone knows that he is an absolute wrecking ball and demon. He is one of the best running backs in the game. Not much to say about that. Najee Harris, a little bit overrated, especially this year. He has not been that good. Rushing, he's been a pretty inconsistent rusher, and pass catching, he has struggled, and I mean struggled. And I think with Ben just kept checking on down with him, so that's what helped him last year. This year with Kenny Pickett or Mitch Trubisky, it has not worked. Pittsburgh by itself is not looking that good except for their defense. And Najee Harris, you're going in the overrated, my friend. So both the running backs, so Melvin Gordon's going to go on underrated, and Javonte is going to go on properly rated. Here's my thing with that. Melvin Gordon's underrated because of his running back two. He's one of the best running back twos you'll get in the league. He is not washed because a lot of people say he's washed because after he went from the Chargers, he is not washed. He's still a solid running back. And for me with Javonte, I think everyone knows he's a solid upcoming star. Can't really say he's underrated because a lot of people do love him. I can't really say he's overrated because a lot of people do overvalue him sometimes. I think it's right in the middle there. Derrick Henry right now, a little bit overrated. Right now, he's been a bit overrated. He has not looked good. He looks almost lazy on the field. He had a big game last week, sure, but he's looked lazy on the field. His pass catching's been not good, and the guy that you want him just to get like 150 rushing yards, the first 2 weeks has been awful. He's been awful, and then his third week was solid, but I mean, 3 weeks, you need Derrick Henry to be performing every single week. After last year, everyone's like, he's a king. I think John Taylor's better than him. I could even see Nick Chubb being better than him. Derrick Henry, right now, I love him, but he's overrated right now. I think this is Dante Freeman. I think. I'm just gonna say probably rated because I think he's a running back three right now. Unless that's not Dontrell Hilliard, right? Oh no, is that Dontrell Hilliard? I can make. You know what? I'll put him in probably rated. Dante Freeman slash Dontrell Hilliard. Both. Dontrell Hilliard's actually been a pretty underrated running back, but I'm just gonna say that's both of them. They're probably rated. Don't really have anything to do with them. Damon Harris is a bit overrated right now. I think Ramondre Stevenson is better than Damon Harris. I'll be honest to say that he is a guy like James Conner, except James Conner, um, better receiving. And I think Damon Harris is only trying that goal line. He's good, but I think a lot of people think that he's top 10 and he's not top 10. Cordell's underrated because he can do so much. He's so versatile. He can pass catch. He can be a receiver. He can be a running back. He can run the ball. He can block. He is literally that ultimate versatility player that can do everything on the field, and that makes him super underrated, especially after last year. Josh Jacobs is overrated. I don't really have to say it. I don't think Josh Jacobs is a good running back to begin with. As a power running back, he doesn't have much power. As a rusher, he's barely rushing for over 3 yards carry. Eckler is still underrated, dude. I think a lot of people think that Eckler's washed because you gotta look at his stats and you can't just say, oh, he only has like 800 rushing yards. Look at his receiving, 800 receiving yards, 1,600 total yards. That's insane. And the production, he is their main weapon in the Chargers offense. I'm sorry, Keenan, but he is. And I feel like he can be used in so many different scenarios like Cordell Patterson. It's just so underrated. Rashad Penny is going to go in underrated. Probably rated. Right now, he's probably rated because I think he hasn't performed as much as he wanted to. But he is a good running back. He is a very, very underrated running back from the backup role that he played with Chris Carson. Sonny Michel's overrated. I don't want to say anymore. Not a great running back. It really doesn't do anything that high of a level, and he's just kind of overrated. Naeem Hines, I'll say it once again. Naeem Hines is underrated. I think for a receiving running back, that's one of the best you can have in the game. For speed, that's one of the best you can have in the game. If he was on any other team, he would even shine even better. He's just being shot by John Taylor, but he's still a very, very good running back. Zach Moss is going to go into the probably rated. I think he's fine for a backup running back or running back three if James Cook counts. He's not on this list. I don't think rookies count, but he's fine. He's probably rated. Jamal Williams is also going to go in the probably rated. Actually, you know what? After this year, Jamal Williams has been underrated. He has like 4 touchdowns after 3 games. He's been ridiculous. He's actually been really, really good. Zeke's overrated. I don't know how much else to say it. He's just so overrated because a lot of people still think he's there. He's out of his prime, guys. He's too old. Get him off the team. He's so overrated. Might be the most overrated player. AJ Dillon's gonna go in properly rated. Shoot. Sorry, guys. We'll keep it going now. Properly rated for AJ Dillon. I think a lot of people know that he's a great goal line rusher. A little bit overrated right now because I feel like he's good, but you guys got to realize that he is still a running back too. Aaron Jones is still the number one running back. I think a lot of people think that he should be ahead of Aaron Jones. Got to realize that you gotta let Aaron Jones be the number one. Dalvin Cook's also probably right again, a guy that everyone knows that he is a top 5 running back in the league. Just one of the best, most versatile running backs in the game with so much speed. Everyone knows that. Michael Carter is going to go in the overrated category. I'm not gonna lie, a little bit overrated right now. Just after a decent rookie year, but it wasn't that great of a rookie year. And I think a lot of people think that he's the next Frank Gore, but I don't know why that's a weird player to emphasize, but whatever. Yeah, he's just overrated a little bit right now. Ronald Jones doesn't really have a job. I mean, he's on the Chiefs, but he isn't really playing, so I'm saying probably rated. Miles Gaskin, overrated. Oh my god, he's so bad. He's awful. James Watt's going to go probably rated, and Cam Akers is going to go in overrated. Talk about Cam Akers. I just think he's a little bit overrated right now. I think Darrell Henderson is a better running back for use if you want to use him better. And for, again, where we got him in the draft, he's a bit overrated. That's what I'm going to leave. If you guys like this video, please like, comment, subscribe. I do my best with every single day. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. If you guys like the running back, if you guys like these overrated or underrated tier lists, please like and comment down below that you want to see more of this. Next up will be wide receivers. So if this video gets over 3 likes, I will do a wide receiver one next week or even later this week. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe again, and peace.